Stock markets are soaring on the back of vaccines that herald the end of the COVID nightmare that, as I speak, are hitting new highs in the US and fast worsening second peaks across Europe. However, much as was for the March crash, the vaccines, COVID-19 are all mere blips in the long-term trend trajectory that is being driven by AI and its full spectrum application. For instance, these are the key areas that I identified to focus upon some 5 years ago. Though the number is always expanding as AI encroaches on every aspect of our lives, which is why my focus is on core AI itself rather than derivatives of AI. And this video is an excerpt from my in-depth analysis on AI stocks portfolio buying levels that cover these topics that range from analysis of the US presidential election forecast for 2020 all the way to the next imminent global catastrophe after coronavirus, which unfortunately will happen and likely within a couple of decades. And of course, the main core topics, AI stocks buying levels for the likes of Google, Amazon, Apple, and a whole plethora of AI stocks on my list. The whole of which has first been made available to patrons who support my work. So for immediate first access to all of my analysis and trend forecasts, then do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $3 per month. The bottom line is that we are on an exponential curve in terms of technological developments, which means expect things to change fast. And likely most of us won't even be aware of most of the critical changes as they take place given the rapid pace of development. Just that the implications of the developments will be discounted by the stock market through higher stock prices. For instance, imagine a world where superconductors operate at room temperature. Well, that world could start becoming manifest as soon as early next year, with exponential consequences across a wide spectrum of sectors, starting with applications that currently require liquid nitrogen cooling, such as quantum computers. Another key sector that is waiting on room temperature superconductors to deliver several orders of magnitude of efficiencies is in electricity generation, transmission, and storage, i.e. batteries. And this is a reminder of the stock market big picture, where basically I'm expecting AI stocks on average to increase sixfold on where they were trading in June 2020 by 2027, so not long. Yes, there will be stocks that overperform and stocks that underperform, as illustrated by AMD currently killing Intel in the CPU market, a trend which I've been iterating or warning of for a few years now, and it looks like Intel's in for at least another couple more rough years. However, Intel is leveraged to AI, so I do expect Intel to eventually start performing, for which I'm keeping an eye on for any signs of, forget 2021, possibly 2022. Anyway, both are on my AI stocks list. Also remember, folks, that the AI megatrend favors the tech giants for the trend to be exposed to multiple AI derivative sectors, given the advantage that AI gives them over the rest. And they are very deep pockets, so can buy up any small or medium cap stock that shows promise. So unlike megatrends of decades past, think big tech. And regardless of what happens, even a deep depression courtesy of a once-in-a-century global pandemic, good AI stocks will not only survive but prosper, which is pretty much what I stated going into the pandemic crash of March 2020, and warned not to make the mistake of selling after the initial stocks bounced. This trend is only just beginning, for we have yet to pass human level intelligence, after which is off to the races, when AI is smarter than us, you, me, and even the smartest guy in the room, in respect of which all we can do is to what? Own the AI, or a small piece of it via the stock market. So think of each stock holding as owning a piece of the AI, where whilst on the surface they may appear as individual corporations fronted by CEOs, under the hood they will become one AI, and most people won't even be aware of that fact. So get invested and keep invested, then at the least we will protect our wealth and at best get mega rich. Easy money. In fact, I could retire today, well, metaphorically speaking, since I am my own boss, and then say 6 years down the road cash in my stocks portfolio for about 6 times return. That's on June valuation. It's literally that easy. I've done it before over the decade and know the secret to investing is to remain invested in megatrends. Buy when cheap and then forget it. If the stocks are good, then it will deliver, hence my educational investing articles. 20%, 30%, even 100% stock gains are nothing to what to expect, regardless of crashes or even bear markets, as March 2020 illustrates. Go back and read my article analysis and comments during March 2020 and you should see how I think about investing. There is no doubt, if the market is dumb enough to offer AI stocks at 30 to 40% discounts, then buy. I ploughed every penny at my disposal into AI stocks during March. Though the crash in sterling to below 120 limited my window of opportunity to throw more sterling at the market, which is why I like to keep a good chunk of my liquid cash in dollars, as I primarily invest in US tech stocks. Cannot trust Chinese corporations, and anything else of value eventually gets bought up by the US tech giants. Of course, becoming 6 times more wealthy is not of much use unless there's tech around the corner to use to capitalize upon it. Exponential human longevity, which should start materializing during the 2030s, hopefully mid 2030s, as I covered in my analysis of mid 2019, investing to profit and benefit from human life extension, AI stocks and technologies. I'm up for cybernetic implants during the 2030s, becoming a literal $6 million man, as I alluded to my 2016 video. It's going to happen, so get invested and get rich so we can buy the health tech that is coming a decade or so down the road, courtesy of AI, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll see out the 2099 new year together. Again, the whole of this extensive analysis has already first been made available to patrons who support my work. So, for immediate first access to all of my analysis and trend forecasts, then do consider becoming a patron by supporting my work for just $3 per month. And just an example, what do you think my forecast was for where the Dow would end 2020 right at the beginning of 2020? Guess. 30,750 to 31,000. Where is it trading now? Go and have a look at the chart and make up your mind whether you should subscribe, become a patron for just $3 per month. Anyway, I'm going to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all. And here's a Christmas message for my budgies. And do consider becoming a patron, because there's going to be a lot more opportunity during 2021, 2022 and beyond.